married to jealousy.
Truth or it's fantasy, yeah.
We're doing everything,
Cause there's so much to talk about. Sit still and prove it out. Bitter and sweet, ice and heat. Let's take a drink of honesty. What's up, family? What's up? How y'all feeling this morning? What's going on with y'all? How y'all doing? Come on in the room and say good morning. Don't be rude. You know your mama and daddy raised you, right?
Good morning.
All right, now come on now.
Everyone.
All right now. Look, I'm trying to make sure it's shared properly. There we go. Okay. Hold on. 2 seconds. There we go. What's up? Good morning. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? What's going on with you? We here and it is Thursday morning. Y'all, we done made it through most of the week. It's almost the end of the week, okay? So we just doing our thing. We here. We ready
Yes.
to wrap up this week. All right. We got some exciting topics for us today. But before we even jump into that, thank you for joining us for yet another hour of Honest Tea. I'm your boy, Brother Greg, Minister Greg, Pastor Greg, whatever it is you need me to be. I am there at your service, and
I am Antoinette.
Yes, ma'am. So we are, like I said, man, we got some exciting stuff going on. Just been great things happening here lately. Really excited about just what's
cold.
It's
cold. It's getting cold. It's about to be fall.
I mean, yeah.
Y'all don't feel that in there?
Yeah.
You kind of getting a little slow to get out of bed, you know.
Is you excited about it?
I am so excited.
Okay. All right. Don't worry. Well, you know what? Let's jump right on in.
All right.
What's steeping in our communities? So yesterday I said that I would share some information about some tutoring. Yeah, come on in. What's up? Good morning. What is steeping in our community? Sheena say it's football season. I know that's right. Steeping in our community, we have a nonprofit called Smart Kids Inc.
Yes.
Okay. Smart Kids Inc. is tailored towards children who need extra help with tutoring. So they offer tutoring services. And what you can do is just reach out to them. Go to smartkidsinc.org, I believe, and they have the website. They'll lay everything out for you. That way you know exactly what kind of services they actually offer. Yeah. And from that point, you can determine what it is that your child actually needs. We did an event back a few months back for them.
Yeah.
And it was an amazing event. So they were pretty much promoting, and I believe it was sort of kind of like the celebration of the Smart Kids Inc. Organization. Mm-hmm. And so we got to do a brunch for them, and we had a blast. But also, I did not know about this nonprofit. I didn't know it was available. So when I found out it had the tutoring services and some of the kids that they actually did work with, we knew some of the parents. Yep. So it was really cool to find out about this service that they offered. And I got to talk to one of the tutors, who is also a teacher. And she talked about just some of her methods that she would use when it came down to tutoring children. And I thought it was absolutely amazing. So Smart Kids Inc. We're gonna put that website now in the link, in the not description box, but in the comment section, so that you know exactly where to go. You can just click on it and go and visit that website. If your child needs any tutoring, reach out to them and see if they qualify, see if it's something that they can help out with. If that does not work, I know there was one that was mentioned yesterday. What was the one that was mentioned?
Bridge of Hope, and also Stump the World.
Stump the World.
Stump the World is on the south side for those of my people that are south. Mm-hmm. And Bridge for Hope, I think that it's just a website that you can get on and do what you do. Thank you, Sister Sheena.
Thank you.
SmartKidsInc.org. And I will also tag the founder's personal page. Her name is Renata Chandler. Don't do it this morning, Greg. Her name is Renata Chandler. So we are definitely gonna
genuine, such a genuine, beautiful person. Yes, just the sweetest person in the world. And I mean, she just really does have a heart for what she does. You can tell, and when you meet her, when you encounter her, you can tell she just really has a heart to really help the kids get to where they need to be. So it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful organization. So check it out. All right.
Yep.
Cool beans.
Also, COVID cases are on the rise.
They
are back up, y'all. So please take care of yourselves.
Yeah, protect
Step back. Would
give me 50 feet. Hey. Oh.
Hey.
Or when you know that you can, just stay home for a while. Or if you feel sick at all, stay in the house, you know.
If you feeling well, stay feeling well. Y'all already know what to load up on: that vitamin C, that vitamin D, that ignatia, that zinc, that calcium, that calcium.
That calcium. What kind of vitamins you coming up with? Calcium. That calcium.
Hey.
No, ma'am.
You know.
No, you ain't finna make nothing up on this stage. Listen, but you want to make sure
load up on those vitamins. Get your greens in, your superfoods in, your antioxidants.
And for both men and women, also load up on your love life. Those who are married, you are there in conjunction with your partner. That is some of the best immune system boosting that you could ever give, is that love life. So build that up.
You better be loaded up.
Load it all up.
Oh, some contraceptives too, if that's what you desire. But yes, take care of yourself, man.
Good vitamin,
right? There's a lot going on. Richard Elderberry. Y'all know what to do. Everybody know they pack it. Get your sea moss.
Yep.
Whatever it is that you do in your regimen to stay healthy, do it.
Go on and get it together.
Wash your hands.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Wash your hands.
Lysol and bleach is on sale.
What's up? Wash
your
hands. Okay.
A lot of people
the people didn't hear it. The people didn't hear it. I don't think the people
be surprised with the adults that don't wash their hands.
Wash your hands.
I'm sitting on my computer now.
Wash your hands, man. Wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
All right, let's see. What is this theme and hot topic for today? So Rihanna and A$AP Rocky has had their second baby, and they showed off their son. Now, this is what it threw me for a loop, because I didn't know what was going on. I was shown the picture, and I said, "Oh, they had a daughter. Oh, wow. Everybody keeps saying they had a son."
It's a boy, y'all.
It's a boy. And I'm guessing they were trying to prove a point, because they had the baby dressed in pink.
Well, technically,
no.
The baby's name is Riot Rose.
Riot Rose.
So when you think about the name, first and foremost, the baby's going to start a riot. So let's do something controversial. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to think about the play on words.
Gotcha.
And then Rose, technically, I feel was kind of like a rose gold.
Okay.
So Riot Rose, dressed in rose gold, dripping on fofos, whipped it, dripping on fofos, dipped it, rose.
Okay.
Hey. But I think that it's cute. I think that it is unique. I wouldn't necessarily chose Rose. I wouldn't necessarily chose Riot, but I'm all for unique names and whatever she was given for her child and the meaning and all of that. Hey, that's beautiful. Congratulations, Rihanna. You are doing your thing, girl.
Okay.
Doing your thing.
I thought that was pretty dope.
It's a boy, everybody's saying it's
I thought it was a girl too, Sheena, because I'm like, what are they doing with this pink on? So when I found out it was actually a boy, it's nothing wrong with boys wearing pink, but normally when you reveal, the revelation of a boy, we normally, in our culture, it's normally a blue thing. But did you know that historically, that the colors were actually in reverse? That when you will reveal a boy, pink was actually a boy's color. because it derived from a softer red. And so red was a royal color. So it was a softer red showing that you had a prince or an heir on the rise, right? And then you had actually blue, which they actually gave to the girl because they believed that it was a softer, more feminine color, the baby blue. So it was in reverse back in the day.
Oh, okay.
Yep. When you do your study on it, I'm just saying, do a study on it because it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But anybody else would say, okay, well, why would she do pink? Is they just trying to do this stuff that they doing in the world where they trying to tell you, do whatever, you know what I'm saying? I don't believe that that's what it was. I truly believe that it was simply what you said, the riot. Hey, we gonna start a riot. Many people, y'all not gonna understand it, y'all not gonna get it, and his name is the very same meaning and understanding of that. You're not gonna always get it, you're not gonna understand it right off the bat, but hey, it is what it is. So riot rose it is, in rose gold they showed him. Okay, so that was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty tight. And the baby is adorable. The baby is adorable. So yep. That's what we got there for that steaming hot topic. Everybody was going up. Man, they was flipping over there. It was like, is this a girl? She had a girl. No, she had a boy. No, she had a boy, y'all. A boy.
Don't pop up talking about your baby name Zaya. No foolishness like that now.
Yeah, well, I don't feel like it.
Tell me something good. Tell your testimony.
Yeah. All right. So, tell me who can stand me for us when we call her that great name. Oh, Jesus. All right. So, look, check this out. We got we saw this testimony online, and I thought it was absolutely amazing. Because you know what? It goes to show that it is never too late to do what you want to do for yourself. If you aspire to do it, then you get to do it. Yep. Nothing can stop you, nothing can delay you, nothing can hold you back. Even if you feel like you're delayed, timing is of the essence, and you never know when that perfect point is coming. I always like to say that God has a way he's the best director you can ever have. Mm-hmm. He knows exactly how to set the stage for that big wow aha moment. So this testimony blew our minds. Check it out. Sam Listen.
That is amazing.
That blew.
If you couldn't see what it said, Sam became the first in his family to get a college degree.
Yes.
He graduated at 72 years old, and his 99-year-old mother was there to witness him get his diploma. That is amazing.
72 years old.
72
he got his
years
degree.
Old.
And his 99-year-old mother got to watch him walk across the stage. It marked history in their family. So clearly he was breaking some generational curses.
Yes.
And even, listen, to say that he was the first to graduate. I'm sure he probably has children. I'm sure there's other people building up a legacy, but the first in their family to do so. His mom is 99. He's 72. So there are others who came behind him. Think about what that did for that generation that is coming behind him, possibly his children, grandchildren, or even others who are connected to them. Whatever that looks like, yes. You know what? We are able to break the generational cycles of saying that we can't because our legacy didn't, or we can't because our lineage didn't.
Yeah.
No, I have the authority to do because I know what I'm called to do. I know what I can do. I know it's great. Man, tell me about it. Isn't that amazing? I was just so outdone with it.
It kind of correlates with the things that we've been talking about this week too.
Yeah.
About forgiving yourself and forgiving others. I'm sure that he had to go through a process to even get to the point of wanting to go back to school at such a seasoned age.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he had to probably walk through a lot of things things and do some inner work and really, really get out there and overcome some of the things that possibly held him back or that he felt held him back. So that's why this self-healing, y'all, and this inner work and this self-awareness is so important.
Yep.
Because we got goals to reach. We got milestones. We got stuff to flip over and flip back and flip around. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. And I agree with you 100%, man. 100%.
Sam, you look quite dapper in your cap and gown, sir.
And your cap and gown.
Cap and gown.
What's going on? What is going on? This is good week, boy.
Baby.
But you know what? I'm so proud. I'm so proud of them because, like you said, working through some of those insecurities that we may have of going back. Think about how many of us have said to ourselves, we too old to go back to college. We too old to go back to college. We too old to go back to school. I ain't got time for that. I got all these other things going on in my life. I have no time for this or that. And the whole point is, look, at 72, in your mind, you would say, well, shoot, you about to retire. Well, what's your point? In his mind, he's saying, I had a goal that I wanted to reach. And before I leave this earth, I'm going to do what I know I'm supposed to do.
It definitely does. I am not a morning person at all.
Yeah. No, not at all.
I just went to sleep.
Just went to sleep. But you know what? You can always overcome those insecurities. Definitely. And you can always overcome what we call the status quo. Whatever others have said is now the cutoff time. Mm-hmm. You can always go above and beyond and meet those goals. So I'm really proud of them. 72, getting a degree, that's dope. And that ain't nothing but for yourself. And you know what? It goes to show that when you are doing goals and accomplishing goals, you should be doing it for yourself and not for what everybody else says. Because if he would have did this at 50, we would have known, hey, it was for a career. That's what we would have thought. But the truth is, whether at 27, whether at 22, whether at 18, whatever it is that you're doing, you need to be doing it because you know it's what you're called to do, it's what you're meant to do, but also do it so that you can better yourself, not for society. Mm-hmm. I wish I would go to school just because they said I can get a better paying job by going to school. Yep. And I still got to pay to go to school? No. But if I know that it's something that I need to go for because I do need the education, or I do need this, I'm not going for status. I am going so that I can better myself. That's what's going to determine whether or not you be successful in what you do. I believe that success is determined by how you see it, how you advance yourself through it, and walk through the process of it. I don't think that success is determined by the fact that you have a degree. There are so many people with degrees that are not successful
at all
because you have a degree and you are not fulfilled. There's nothing in life that you feel fulfilled about. Tell the truth, like, right? Some people on here may even have degrees. Look,
and may not even be using them.
It may not be using them. So the degree does not define your success, right? You have to recognize what it is that you need in order to be successful in life. And that's what you go for. But you don't go after something that society tells you that you need because you'll forever be trying to please society.
Well, Brother Sam most definitely did his big one.
Yeah.
And he did accomplished his goal, whatever that was.
Yeah.
And at 72 years old, that man got a college degree. Think about how much courage that took. He ended up with them kids. He ain't know how to work on computers probably. Mm-hmm. He ain't know how to get on a group chat. But Brother Sam did his big one.
Very proud of him.
Go on, Sam.
Very proud, man. Go on, Sam.
Go on, Sam.
Uh-huh. So, look, kudos to Sam. But if you out there, be inspired by that story. Go and share it. Be inspired by that story. He had his 99-year-old mom watching him. I think that's the most amazing. That's the dopest. Because it's like before anything ends in this life, you want to see your legacy lived out in a very, she said, go on, Uncle Sam. I knew it. I knew somebody was going to do it. But everybody ought to be able to see something of their legacy being strengthened or bettered. And I always say this, to honor your mother and father, it literally means to take what they've given you and make it better. Put it to good use. So he did that. And we're very, very proud of Uncle Sam.
Congratulations.
He ain't my uncle, but, he's somebody.
Well, we're going to stir it up right
Stir it up. Let's stir it up. getting over here frustrated about this sound. What is going on in these daycares?
What's going on in the world today?
Y'all, we gotta talk about this. Now, this is an issue. Now, I know y'all done heard about these babies overdosing on opioids in the daycare. Okay.
Yeah. In the Bronx daycare, there were 4 children that got a hold of some fentanyl. One of the babies actually did not make it, and the other 3 were in critical condition.
They overdosed on fentanyl. How did they get the fentanyl?
So the fentanyl was supposedly on top of some mats, like some cots or whatever, and they got it. But this is the crazy part. The whole story just don't even add up. So apparently, one of the workers' family members was renting a room out of the daycare. Why are y'all living out of the daycare?
Yeah.
That's strike 1. Strike 2 is, because I ain't gonna make my Bernie Mac come out. Strike 2, they called whoever the guy was who lived there before they called the police. Then they called the police, then called the guy back, finally got in touch with him, I guess. So after the police comes, they see on surveillance that the guy comes in and he stays for a few minutes and then he leaves back out with some heavy bags. Y'all playing games. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Strike 3. I don't know what it is, but
no, them babies was harmed because you were trying to be. And listen, the interesting part.
Oh, strike 3. They found like stuff in there to show that they were like distributing drugs and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Like scales and all that kind of stuff. Why are y'all doing it at the daycare facility?
Like seriously. And then if you know anything about fentanyl, actually just touching it alone will because it absorbs into your skin and into your hands and into your cells. So touching it alone can actually cause you to get woozy or get high alone. So that situation right there was just completely out of order for it to even be on the premises. But picture if this woman or the person who was over the daycare, picture if they are innocent. They literally could have just been trying to help a family member. And the family member could have done anything. And I'm not saying that that's the case. They could have very well known what was going on. But they could have been really trying genuinely to, you know what, you need a place to stay. You can't stay at my house, but I'll let you go on and stay at the daycare. You just got to be out by the time my kids get here. And then you leave things that are out because you're not cognitive of other children being around. You're not even thinking about the fact that other children are being around. Ain't that crazy? And so now somebody has lost their child.
Yeah.
Somebody else, 3 other people's children are in critical condition.
And you going to jail now.
And as much as, but it's crazy because at times like that, and I'm just being honest, jail don't feel like it's the right fit.
True.
You want to play fentanyl, go ahead and take a boatload of it and let's see what it do to you. I'm just saying. I ain't saying do it. I'm not saying. It frustrates me. I have to be honest.
Jail is gonna be the easiest.
It is frustrating. I know.
You know how people live in jail.
You're right.
And so
right, they gonna create a sap to tap it. But I'm just saying.
I didn't say that. I did not say
That's
that.
What's gonna happen? Because you don't do children like that. But that is the most foolish thing you could ever do is have that in the midst of children. But do you know how many kids we are seeing who are dying on opioids because either parents or family members have it around and they just grab it. This is not fit. This is not medicine. This is what they're using. This is not medicine.
This is medicine.
No, this is not medicine. I'm sorry. Maybe I did. This is not medicine. This is what they're using to please themselves through.
But even with that, back in like, what happened to the discretion with which you chose to do? Like a lot of people, even with like smoking and drinking around kids, I don't agree with that at all. You know, that your kids do what you want to do.
Right.
Don't do it around. Because I like, but there was a discretion back in the day about certain things that was done. There were smoke areas in the house. You know what I'm saying? Or
are y'all gonna smoke outside? Because if you want it that bad, you're gonna go do it outside.
Not only that, I don't think I ain't heard a lot about kids getting a hold to like cracking, stuff like that. Like people live their lives, did what they did, but if kids was around or you felt like a child would remotely be around, you made sure things was in order. You know what I'm saying?
Like, but now it's this whole, you know what, I'm living my life. I do what I want. I don't care who sees me. I don't care what they say about me.
Not cool.
Nobody can judge me. Nobody can, because back then, if you was doing drugs and it was openly that you were doing drugs, what they gonna do is, no, you wrong for what you're doing, and people are gonna hold you accountable. But now it's like, shoot, everybody doing it. Oh, well, no, like, why are you doing this? What are you doing this for? There's no reason for this. Like, you got to get yourself together, get yourself off of this, go get yourself some help, because this is, I hate it. I hate hearing this. This frustrates me so bad. You know it do. You know how many people I've had come to me and tell me, because I can stop if I want to, for real. I just do it for the fun of it. Yeah. I just do it just because I want to, but I can stop if I want to. How about to go ahead and stop today? Well, I don't want to. Exactly. You want to know why you don't want to? Because you can't. It's an addiction.
Not by yourself.
Okay? And be honest about it. But you're seeing these things affect the kids in this next generation. They're affecting kids. They're affecting parents. They're affecting families. And now this drug epidemic, it has now taken over so much so where we are losing people by the droves. Do you know how many of our classmates we've lost to this stuff? How many of our family members
we have lost? People ain't even make it to see 30 years old.
Yeah.
35.
Broke my dang old heart. Broke my heart. I found out some stuff about for some friends of mine. And man, it just hurt. It hurts so bad because you know who they are. You know what I'm saying? You know the character that they possess. But there's something else there that's ruling their lives, and it's the addiction that they continue to allow to keep coming. You know, and we could say all day long, well, you know what? I mean, I pray for him and I keep it moving. No, y'all, we got to stop with this. Prayer has been this little punk move for us. I pray for him. That's all I can do. No, it's not.
Okay.
Go in there and tear some stuff up. Mm-hmm. Go in there and make some. Look, I'm that guy. I'm telling you, I'm the guy in my family. You on drugs. You on drugs. Okay, it's an addiction. Get off of it. Get something wrong with you. Something wrong with you. And if you get too rowdy, I will punch your tail in your throat to help you sit back down so you can breathe again. I'm not violent. I'm passionate. Sister, come on. Sheena said it already. I was passionate. I'm very passionate, okay? No. Because, we're losing people.
It's definitely serious.
We're losing people.
People don't think it's serious.
And then for somebody to send a child somewhere and they don't get to come back home because you decided to house a drug addict or a drug dealer in your freaking house who is now putting things in place where now this child can't go home. 3 of them can't return home and 1 of them will never go home again. Families are grieving because they trusted you. Families are grieving because they trusted your family member who tried to help you and allowed you to come to a place. I pray this person didn't know that there was dealings going out inside of that daycare.
Well, my thoughts is thoughts and no's of no's. I feel like she did know, because what you calling him for after you call the police or before you call the police? You giving him a heads up to say, hey, come get your stuff, or you know what I'm saying? Like, you knew. You know, he probably was cleaning his money through the daycare. Come on, I watch a lot of TV.
Yeah, man.
I lived a long life.
Yeah. It really is. It's really sad. It does hurt. Yeah, and we got to remember, even though it's in our communities, that's our families. Yeah. That's our family. At Berkeley High School, we were family. There was no, oh, well, you just knew a person, or I just went to school. Yeah, we are family. When things happen to one person and you know they went to Berkeley, this is just our school alone that I'm speaking of. But when you know they went to Berkeley, yeah, we clung to that. And we take everything personal because this is family to us. Mm-hmm. We were a small school. We were the smallest high school in the district. And I mean, we had a family connection. Period, point blank. We all really did care about each other. We all really did love each other. Even when we couldn't stand you, you still cared about people that you couldn't stand. You just didn't want to see them bad off, you know? So to see this now taking over, and then people walking around looking like dang on zombies.
Apocalypse.
They do. They walk around. Look, they got these big old dark bags under their eyes. Everybody eyes like this. Everybody eyes yellow, eyeballs yellow. Teeth turning yellow in different colors, different shades of gray. As you walk down the tooth, it's these different colors. And some people don't even have teeth no more. It's decaying.
We ain't even 35.
We ain't 30. And then they going bald. They going bald at the top, missing hair, hairline and recede. Look, it's crazy to see how this is affecting our generation. And we are not, some of them haven't hit 30 yet. Yeah. Some of them are 30 and just hit 30. And they look like they just shy of 51 or 2. Yeah. It's crazy.
Life is definitely lifing for some people. And it's sad that a lot of people don't have outlets. A lot of people don't have the resources that they need. And a lot of people just don't have the strength to endure some of the things that are going on. And it comes with environment as well. And it just also comes with that peace. Forgive yourself, forgive others. Some people are really walking around with a lot of baggage.
Yeah.
You know your baggage.
Oh man.
Come on, Greg.
I'm sorry it happened on her. I'm sorry, but it just got a little nice looking.
Yeah, but some people are really walking around carrying the weight of life on their shoulders, and they don't know how to handle it. And then it doesn't make it better to be in an environment full of people that got bags on their shoulders as well, and they don't know how to. So here you go, generational curses or being in these cycles. We got to break free from some of this stuff.
Yeah, because the people you're connected to, if they are not bold enough to say to you, "Hey, you don't need to be doing that, man. I want better for you. You should want better for yourself. You should want better for your children." They're not bold enough to say that, then they can't be your friends. And you cannot call or consider yourself family if you're not pushing me to my better, to my greater. Not what you just think is greater for me, but knowing that the things that are not good for me, are not good for me.
Even with the drug dealers, like I remember back in the day, drug dealers used to be shunned in families. Like, nah, bro, I know where your money came from. I'm not taking it.
Now they be like, hey,
you don't need to come up here to the port.
He making money. No. Well, I mean, he making money. Whatever he doing, I mean, it is what it is. He making money. Shut up. Shut your mouth. I'm serious. Pull that up for me. I'm serious. Man, look.
YouTube.
Look.
Y'all can't see the comments that I can see on YouTube, so just whatever.
I can't even stand. Come on, let's go.
This is heartbreaking. I haven't seen a lot of people from high school since we graduated with that little band, luckily. And I don't want to see my people like that. Nah, it ain't nothing.
It's tough, man. It's really tough. And you know what? We want to see something different in life. You know, something different, something change, man. But it's a hard situation.
And it's those influences too. We're coming up in a world where back in the day, Tupac and them rapped against that stuff. Yeah. Now it's acceptable. This is what we do.
Because this is all we rap about.
That's all they rap about.
Man, do you know how long it took? You know how long it took for me to understand that sipping on that scissor, what that meant?
And we 10 singing it.
Yeah, we was walking around, but look at the goal. Look at the goal in the song. Okay. We were young singing songs like sipping on that scissor, sipping on that sipping on that scissor, sipping on it. And we was going because it's like, oh, sipping on that. And I'm like, I never even thought what scissor was. Never thought about it. You know what I'm saying? I was a little kid. I was a teen and preteen. Like, who cared about what sipping on that scissor was? It sound good, didn't it? Like we was kicking into it. And then turn around and look what we were speaking over our lives. Because a whole bunch of people started sipping on that scissor. Sipping on that sipping on that scissor. And they couldn't stop. They couldn't stop. No pancakes. Straight up, they couldn't stop. It became an addiction. What was the other one? It was another one. Another song. Man, it was another song that it was talking about drugs, but we didn't even recognize that it was talking about drugs. And they were promoting drug use and drug abuse in these songs. But we're celebrating it in the song because we're getting it.
And now it's just acceptable. You know what I'm saying? It's acceptable, and it's heartbreaking.
Didn't even know what it meant. Didn't even know we were. She just say we was innocent for real.
We was innocent. And
we
were just walking around just innocent.
I know, for real. No, for real. That was our jam. We used to be sipping on this. It was terrible, but
it's really turning apart families. It's turning apart lives, even at a quicker rate than the crack pandemic and all of this stuff.
And the killings, it's taking people out.
So many people are lacing stuff. Like it's sad.
It's hard.
It's really sad.
It's really hard, y'all. And we talk about some funny stuff, and we can talk about things that are controversial. But period, point blank, we're going to talk about what's real. And what's real is we're giving up in our communities. That's what's real. I see it. We see it. We're encountering it every day. People are giving up. We are letting things go. We're letting the ball drop on our people and our communities, and we are not holding each other
Everything is just so acceptable now. Like we done turned into liberals.
Yeah,
I ain't liberal about
none of stuff is that. Go put your shirt back on. Stop driving. Don't ride down the street on no bike naked. Put your clothes back on.
Anytime you say something to somebody, you judge it. I'm not judging, baby.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to help you.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to help your scary.
But we were really, man, we was in this stuff that we didn't have nothing. We really had no business being a part of. Along with the daycares, because that's where we came from. Yeah, it was also another situation in another daycare with a young lady, a young baby girl.
Yeah.
You want to speak on that because you have the information?
Yeah. So the baby girl. So the teacher ended up texting the mom and was texting the mom, letting her know and showing her a picture of the baby's diaper. The baby diaper had blood in it. Mm-hmm. So when she texted her, she was like, "Hey, this is not normal. I changed her at 9. It's now 11, and this is what happened. She wasn't like this before." So the mom comes up. She's not getting any answers. She goes to take her baby to the hospital to get a rape kit. And it is revealed that the baby's hymen is torn. If you guys don't know what that means, the cherry was popped. And also there were vaginal abrasions. The baby was sexually assaulted. You got to be a sick, twisted individual.
At 9 o'clock, when she gets there, okay, well, or whatever time she got there, but at 9 o'clock, the teacher changes her. And then at 11, almost 12, right? Between that hour, between 11 and 12, she changed her again. And now there's bleeding. Who the heck did this to this baby?
And they are not trying to cooperate with the mother at all. Yep. No surveillance, camera footage, none of that. They're not talking.
Yeah.
So, me.
This is sickening, y'all.
You ain't got to talk. You ain't got nothing to talk about.
Okay.
I'm clearing the air.
Yeah, that's all.
I'm clearing the air.
Clearing the air.
I don't need no answers.
Yeah.
I don't need no answers.
Everything comes down. Everything is coming down.
It's sad.
And it's sickening because you know what? Even in trying to gain justice for your child, this is a thing that you can't necessarily really get justice for because you can never restore her what was taken from her. And she's only a baby. She's a baby. And you did that. So apparently the cameras led to evidence possibly that they don't
have any surveillance footage. The daycare won't up the surveillance footage, and the police is not investigating as they should. As the last update that I read, I haven't read any recent updates because it's a touchy subject, and I really get upset. I get a little. Yeah. Because my eye gets twitch when I read
y'all know how it is about children, period, and babies, period. But
there is something mentally going on with people, and I don't think a lot of people understand it, and it's not no excuse. Because people know what they be doing. I'm just gonna say that. But even to go along in the conversation, because my eye can start twitching. For real, I don't like that type of stuff. I don't.
No, I got you.
That's just hey. stop existing.
Okay.
Okay. So a lot of people were talking about the fact that surveillance cameras should be in daycares and parents should have access to them at all times.
I agree.
Now, they do have those facilities, but do you know what the cost is for those things? So picture a parent that's probably using government assistance or whatever the situation may be, who can't afford necessarily to put them in a daycare or even have the government to pay that extra sliding fee or whatever fees that it costs to have access to those cameras. It's very unfortunate, but I feel like it should be in all daycares. I'm just being honest.
It should.
It really should.
It should.
And I should have access to it at all times. I feel like it should be in classrooms.
Yeah. I feel like there are key things, especially when it comes down to daycares. I just think there are key things that need to be shown, need to be revealed. And I mean, just period point blank, like Sheena said, what can a baby do for you? Like for you to even think that you should be able to go and do something like that to somebody's child. Like, man, come on. Oh my gosh. And there's no, like I said, there's no coming back from that. Yeah. That mom is traumatized. The child is traumatized. And now they have to figure out how they're going to get healing. And we can shout out therapy all day long. But as they are healing, somebody else needs to be paying for what is going on.
Yeah.
Somebody else needs to be aware also of what is going on so that we can prevent this from happening to other children. And now think about all the other parents that are part of that daycare. Now they have to find somewhere for their children to go.
Or have to wonder, has this happened to my child?
All of them got to check it out. Because sometimes I'm just being honest. Sometimes I know parents who are just working and just going. Shoot, they pick their kid up from daycare, they keep going, and they don't think about what else could have happened or what could have been there. If the child ain't speaking about nothing or saying nothing, or it don't look like nothing is physically wrong on the outside, you normally don't even think too much about it because these are trusted individuals. So you think, heck to the no. We don't trust nobody. Listen, you come from with your granny.
Baby, they already know.
They
get in the car, hey mom, nothing inappropriate happened.
Right. This is that. Let me walk you through what happened. Because we need to know what is going on. But also, we make it to where they're more comfortable with talking about those things with us. We don't limit them to believing that they should only tell us things that are really important. We're also talking about things that you might think is not. Yeah. It's the smallest thing. We made this, or I shook hands with this person, or I met this person, their name was this. We're engaged in every facet of the conversation, but we're not just limiting them to the most important stuff. But if it is something going on or something that sounds inappropriate, we address it immediately. We never leave room for something else to happen. Listen, my children, they don't even like to hear cuss words. So if you're talking to them and you use a cuss word while you're talking to them, they take that as you cuss at them. Okay. So what happens? They gonna tell us. And what happened? I'm gonna call you. I remember there was a situation.
Somebody said the A word to my baby, and she just
it was one of her coaches.
And they didn't mean no harm. That's just how they talk.
Right. They weren't talking about her. They weren't
She not used to it, so she like, well,
she cussed me out.
I'm like, what? Because I'm getting what is going on? I'm getting excited on the inside. This is my chance.
Look, but let's talk about it. Let's talk about it because we had to talk to the coach. And the coach came and it was like, look, I promise you wasn't like that. I apologize. And I was like, yeah, we don't use that language. We don't use that language. Did I have to take my child out? No. Why? Because we talked about it. We cleared it up. Let's just not do this again, because it just won't look good. But you know what I'm saying? It's a thing when you're protecting your children that way. People learn to respect that. But also we need to be checking y'all because there's nobody that you can necessarily trust. I'm just being honest. There's nobody you can trust.
Me and my mama argue all the time. You ain't got to question them. I'm their granny. I don't care nothing about
nothing about that. And the funniest part is they'll say things like, you ain't got to question them. I'm their granny. And then they'll turn around and question what's happening at home.
Right.
What's this? What's that? Why? Because you still want to know what's happening in their lives. So you think that they're not gonna tell their mama and daddy everything? We've had people tell our children, they sat there and told our don't you ain't gotta tell your mama and your daddy.
Please.
Who you?
And that's the last conversation. You don't tell my child they ain't gotta tell
you
me.
Said they ain't gotta tell their mama and daddy. What? Okay,
they gotta tell my child they ain't gotta tell me, then they gonna tell me everything.
Can I sit up now? Who you talking to?
Tina Turner.
Keep playing with me. No, for real. Y'all got me all the way messed up. So of course, what do we do? Because that ain't no thing about my child. We gonna talk it out, and they all good. Don't worry about it, baby. I'll handle it. We on our way to the source of the problem. Yeah. You told my child what? I don't care who you is. Mama, uncle, granny, sister, brother, cousin, indifferent. I don't care who you are. I'm just being real. You not finna tell me that you didn't told my child don't tell me nothing. You finna see a different side of me because what you trying to keep them from telling me stuff for? Exactly. What you didn't do?
Baby, y'all go too far. No, I don't. No, I don't leave the door open for nothing.
Nope.
Because just because you saying don't say nothing, somebody else can come up to them and say don't say nothing, and it be not what it's supposed to be.
The door is closed. The door is closed. Nobody playing that game. You don't leave the room for that, man. So we try and be as nice as we possibly can be, but at the risk of our own children, no.
We'll see a sign.
Yeah, no. You might get away with something with me, but I always tell people, because a lot of people wonder, like, oh, well, you know what? Y'all don't let y'all kids, y'all don't let nobody watch our children. Y'all don't let nobody babysit. Y'all don't let this. Y'all don't let that. We have very few people, and in our picks, normally, if you're coming to babysit, you come to our house. And the reason why you come to our house, because this is their place of comfort. If they're in a place of discomfort and you're babysitting them, if it's your house, they most likely are going to allow something else to happen there because it's uncomfortable for them. But their house, they know that this is their zone. They're free here, and they should be able to have the space to be all that they need to be and do all that they need to do. If they are uncomfortable in any way, they're most likely going to speak up about it because this is something that's out of the norm.
And people don't really see it like that, but you think about how many times we was at our cousin's house and stuff happening. You over my house anyway. Man, you gotta do this and you gotta do that. Or they'll be mean to you. You know, no, you can't play with my toys. You ain't want to play this earlier. Like, and
they use it to manipulate. Y'all remember, come on, man. Come on. I'm trying to be nice. The door is closed, okay? Listen, I'm trying to be nice, but I'm going to say this the nicest way. But do you remember how people...
And you shouldn't have been playing house.
You remember how people used to manipulate these kids. What they'll end up doing is... And these were kids manipulating kids because they were taught by adults to manipulate. But they'll do things like, you ain't my friend no more. Nobody be her friend. And then we say, oh, well, you don't need no friend. Don't worry about it. To a kid, that don't matter. That don't help them, right? But you ain't her friend. Nobody be her friend no more. That's the way to manipulate, because at that point now they're at the mercy of you. I'm secluded. I'm alone. So then normally the main person who said don't be your friend is going to come back, circle back around and say, okay, I'll be your friend, and I can get everybody else to be your friend if you do this. And that's how they would normally come in with that control. Yeah. So we got to be mindful of those things and those arenas that we put our children in.
You can teach your children. You can teach your children. My children are very strong-minded. However, I am still aware that they are children and they are at an impressionable age. Yep. And it's just some things that kids don't want to feel uncomfortable with. So, of course, somebody saying they don't want to be their friend or they got candy or anything like that, they're still kids. We expect these kids to have this adult capacity. Yeah. And then when they come to us telling us certain things, we're yelling and we're flipping out.
You know you wasn't supposed to eat that.
Better.
You know that.
They're still children.
No, they're kids. They're children. So that's why you need to be watching. That's why you need to be looking. That's why you need to be linking up, like Levante said, with like-minded people who are going to like-minded parents who are going to have the same standards, but you make sure you still keep a guard. You still are the one that's responsible for protecting your child. I don't care how good the turn up is. Can we talk about it? Because you're going on every trip that you can possibly go on, but your child is at home feeling neglected. They're still dealing with personality issues. They're still dealing with things that they feel about themselves. They're still struggling with whether they fit in or whether you care enough to say you're not going to go. And they're struggling because you keep leaving out to go have a good time. They see you going to have fun, but they're at home stuck trying to figure out how to pick up all the pieces of the fact that they just miss mama for today. It's not, see, we be like, it's only 3 days. To them, it's for today. Right. Today is eternity. How long? Come on, how many times you see the little kids? They say, oh, how long, mama, when you coming back? When you coming back? When you coming back? Constantly. When my mama coming back? It's every hour. I told you in a couple of days, but you know why it doesn't matter to them? Because a day feels like forever to them. Because I opened my eyes and you were gone, and I closed my eyes and you were still gone. And I don't know if I'm going to open my eyes tomorrow. Why do we do this? But we feel like the turn up is much more valuable. I had a good time too. It was a much needed vacation. But what about what they need? What about what they need? Like we gotta be mindful because that's something you cannot ever take back. And I don't care what you say, there is something that you will forever feel like you know you had a hand in or a responsibility towards if something was to happen to your child. So you do the best you can.
And the things that go on in our communities are not normal.
No.
Let me just put that out there.
No.
Because things happen.
Cousins was
and
doing
people
stuff with
expect
cousins.
for stuff to be back the same way that it was. You ain't got no times. We couldn't ties. We couldn't lives. We couldn't everything off. Because you ain't got no time. I'm just being real.
That's what we tell people.
Well,
that's
y'all know we used to play house when we was kids. It wasn't normal then.
No.
It wasn't normal then.
No.
Don't let nobody trick you into that.
That's where molestation came in. That's where a lot of stuff came in. The older kids sometimes, okay, I'm the mama. The smallest ones is my baby, but you only a couple of years younger than me. You gonna be this and you gonna be that. Before you know it, you got an older girl on top of a little boy. We don't play mama and daddy play. That don't make sense.
We don't play mama. Everybody sisters and brothers or church and pastor or teacher and student.
Please. Boy, would they be at my house. I remember, woo!
We don't close no doors around.
One of them kids closed my door. Hey, what is you doing with that door closed? Who you think you is? Don't you close my door no more. And their parent was sitting right there. One of them parents that always got something to say when you say something to their kid. I wish you would in my house because you can leave. You can get them and you can head up out my house. There ain't no, don't you close no doors. No more locked doors. Don't close no doors in my house.
You ready?
Yeah. So, and we move forward because we're better than that.
We don't allow our children to change clothes in front of one another. And a lot of people, that's their brother, that's their sister.
They girls, they got the same stuff.
We practice privacy.
They deserve to have private space.
Privacy, and not only that, if they get comfortable with doing that, our girls, come on in here, let's change our clothes. That opens the door for somebody else to be able to come in.
My baby went to a sleepover and didn't sleep over. I just want to throw that out there.
Don't sleep over.
She literally went to a place where she just spent a couple of hours. And when she went there, apparently all the girls changed in front of each other. She said, I waited until they all left. And she said, and I'm glad I did because it was somebody there with boxes on that's sitting there and she was apparently looking at the other girls and all of this funny and stuff. She said, I'm so glad I waited until all of them left. You think I'm going to change and show my stuff in front of everybody? No, it ain't going to happen. This is my child. This is my baby talking like this. She wasn't playing.
For real.
She wasn't playing.
So we just got to come to restructure it in our community. Even though we was talking about what goes on in the daycares. But still, you know what I'm saying? Those babies were helpless.
Yeah.
Helpless individuals where people were supposed to be looking out for them.
Yeah.
And they failed them.
Yeah.
And I know as a parent, like the girl was saying, man, I don't do nothing. I don't go nowhere. The only place that my child goes without me is to school. And that's because I have to work.
That's because I have to work.
How do you feel like that plays on her mental?
That's not fair. That's not fair. And that daycare needs to be responsible for making sure that she doesn't have to go back to work until she's comfortable going back. That she can be where she wants to be to her child.
You know why? Woo! Told you I get to teach.
Oh my God. You all right? They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing.
Then the people that work there don't make it no better. I don't care. I'm telling you.
I love the fact that the teacher sent the picture.
I love the fact
she didn't go and get no administrator. She sent the picture right away because I'm in communication with this mom. I'm the one changing the diaper. I'm going to send this picture. I'm going to relay the message. I'm going to put it out there, and then I'll tell the other people. But I'm going to tell you first because you're the parent. Why would I withhold this information from you? Why would I do this and this is your child? But you know how many people would have said, no, you know what? Let me tell my boss first, and then let's see how she want to handle it. Man, forget all of that.
I know how she wants.
Man, you better go somewhere. No. You better go somewhere. No, don't play with me. That's right.
Doors around here.
That's right. Or I'll take it off.
You better not look like you want to shit.
Or I'll take it off. My baby accidentally closed her door too hard. And what happened? Next day, the door was gone.
Yes, I'm glad she did do what she did. She had nothing to hide.
Yeah.
But think about
the backlash she got from everybody else. Now we all out of work. Now nobody can work. Now this, now that. What the heck? This is somebody's child. This is somebody's child, man. I don't care nothing about that. Man, you got me all the way messed up. No, play with mine. Don't play with mine.
Don't play with mine. Let's just be careful.
Don't play with my nieces and nephews.
Let's just be careful.
Don't play with my cousin's kids. Don't play with my cousin's kid. Don't play with my best friend's kid. Please don't do nothing to my godchildren. Please, listen. We those ones. We protect our community. If we all had that mindset, I guarantee you we will see change. But everything is taken so lightly. Oh, he just touched them the wrong way. It's okay. It's okay. They was just exploring. No, they wasn't no exploring. They was in the wrong area. Listen, Dora the Explorer knew where to explore. She had a map. You better use the map. You in the wrong area. This ain't your territory, bro. Go on somewhere.
Back to the program.
Let's move forward. That was a touchy subject.
It is a very touchy subject, and we are very, very passionate about it because a lot of things happen that don't have to happen.
We got to figure something out.
Don't have to happen. It comes with neglect and just it's neglect. Ain't another way to put it. Ain't no way everybody at the co-op party, we all in there and all the kids in another room. For what?
And if they are,
for what?
Who else going in there to check in?
For what?
Who going in there to talk?
Right, we sitting in people sitting on the couch. What y'all doing? No,
you better get up.
I come
soul slide through real quick. We be like, what y'all doing? What y'all up to? Oh, y'all playing the game? And look, we just created this. I'm going to sit there for the whole thing because I need to know it all. Yeah. I want to know the good and the bad because what you think might be good might not be good.
Everybody raised
right? Because everybody is raised differently, you know? And somebody, I look, no. Ooh.
It's all right.
Okay.
It's going to be okay, Greg.
Okay. We pray for that young lady and her baby. And I pray that
and for the other babies as well.
And for the other babies with the fentanyl and the parents of the one who lost their child to the senseless stupidity that has taken place. And you know what? I'm hoping that business owners are now stepping up to say, you know what? I'm going to protect my business. No, you cannot hide out here or hang out here or even come by here. This is my place of work. I don't care what you want to do, because if you are not living a certain lifestyle and you know it's not conducive to what, period, point blank, my business is my business. Yes. Stay out of my business. Stay out of my establishment.
Background checks. And not only that, when you see something off, because this can't be the first baby.
Yeah.
This can't be the first baby.
Yeah.
When you see something off or you feel something off, make sure you're checking it and making sure, hey, fire the people. You're the business owner. If you got apparently though, the person who owns the daycare is the man, I believe.
For the girl?
Yeah.
For the young lady? Yeah.
Now I'm not saying nothing against
I don't care if you work with the person or work for the person. If you see something off, it's off.
It's off.
Report it. Get some substantial evidence, something, but you do your own case. You have an obligation to your community to do what this young lady did. I'm just being honest. I'm glad she brought it out because she just saved so many other children.
Yeah.
because somebody would have sent that baby home and in the diaper, and possibly the mama could have been in a car and then stopped by a family member's house and then went home and then would have thought that it happened at the family member's house. Like, you never know. I'm glad she brought it out. I'm glad she
not
said
even
it.
They kept changing the baby throughout the day to try to cover it up. Anything. People sick.
It's terrible,
People
man.
sick. But we appreciate you, Gladys. I don't know your name, but we're going to call you Gladys on here. We appreciate you, Gladys.
That is not the lady's name. We appreciate whoever you are. You're not going to make up her name? Listen, I'm not going to
give me something to sip on, because I'm a little thirsty.
Let's sip on this. Let's go ahead and what is the good news for today? Let's sip on it. Y'all ain't ready for it. Y'all trying to find something to sip on?
We ready.
Y'all ready? Now, y'all remember where we at, right?
Mm-hmm.
Forgiveness fosters faith. Forgiveness fosters faith. Remember, that is the series that we're in this week. It is all about recognizing that your forgiveness helps to develop your faith. It's going to help you grow. It's going to help you become a better person, because forgiveness is not just for the other person. Forgiveness is also for you.
Mm-hmm.
It is going to help you see things differently and also operate differently. You won't operate from a wounded place, but you'll operate from a wealthy place, a place that says that I can grow and become greater and better, and I'm going to continue to evolve no matter what circumstances are set before me. So forgiveness fosters faith, okay? What do we have to say? Now, yesterday it was forgive the people. They didn't know who you were. They didn't know who you were becoming. They didn't know who you were going to be, right? Today, forgive them people. They knew exactly what they were doing, but they were being used.
Oh, that's good, Brother Greg.
They knew exactly what they were doing, because you know what? Sometimes
that's good. It ties into what we talked about today.
I really didn't. We really don't be playing in this stuff. I promise y'all, it just happens the way it happens. But forgive them people, because they knew exactly what they were doing, but they were being used. Yeah. And what I'm going to tell you is, as much as you may feel like, hey, you know what? It's best for me to tell myself that they didn't know. There are a lot of people who are hurting you intentionally.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who are coming up against you intentionally. They're speaking about your name intentionally. They're trying to come up against your character intentionally. They are trying to tear you down intentionally. They want to hurt you intentionally. But you got to forgive them people. Somebody say, I forgive them people.
I forgive them people.
They knew exactly what they were doing, but realized that they were being used.
Come on, write it in the comments. I forgive them people.
I forgive them people. They knew exactly what they were doing, but they were being used. Yeah. And you got to realize that they were being used by who? We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but who we are wrestling against is the enemy that is unseen, an enemy that tries to use the scene to try and make himself more relevant, to make himself as real as he can in your life. And he uses and manipulates the power of others who have connection to you. They are being used. They are not the one who is trying to. They may even have something against you, but what they may have against you or may feel against you is being manipulated by the one who wants you out of here, by the one who wants to defy your character, by the one who wants to tear down your name, by the one who wants to rip up your reputation, by the one who believes that you are not worthy of living a whole and full life. They are being used by the one who wants to see you die. And I don't know if I could say the word even in that context.
Can I already said it.
Okay, but they're being used by that. They're being used by the one who's after your life. He wants you to end. And you got to realize he's going to use people who have something against you, or even those who never had something against you, but he's going to try and manipulate it. Can I say it this way? Forgive them people. They knew exactly what they were doing because they were being used. Listen, Abel was the real goal. It was never Cain. If you know the story of Cain and Abel, okay, and I'm laying it out real quick.
Y'all know y'all gonna get this word.
We're gonna move on out
Let's
the
go.
way. Okay. Abel was the real goal, not Cain. If you knew the story of Cain and Abel, remember Cain killed his brother Abel. Why did he kill his brother Abel? We got the short version of the story.
That's why I don't trust nobody right there. Cain killed Abel.
We got the short version of the story though. Cain killed Abel because Cain was supposedly jealous because God accepted Abel's sacrifice over Cain's sacrifice. Mm-hmm. Now, what we didn't recognize was Abel was a holy man. He was a holy young man, holy individual. What do I mean by that? He spent time with God. So he knew what was acceptable in the time to make that sacrifice. Mm-hmm. See, God is not the one that needs to be grateful. We're the ones, well, I'm giving this, so God should be grateful. No, you need to be grateful that you're even able to give to him. But you need to learn of him so that you know how to give to him. So you know what's acceptable in the moment. But see, because Abel knew, the enemy came to Abel first. If you read in the lost books, the enemy came to Abel first. And when he came to Abel rejected him and ran to his parents. And his parents was able to admonish him. But after realizing that he could not get Abel, the Holy One that he wanted, he couldn't get him to turn away from God. Because when you spend that much time with God, it's hard to get something for somebody to turn you away from him. A conversation ain't turning you away from him. So because he couldn't get Abel, he went to Cain. And why did he go to Cain? Because Cain spent the less time with God. Cain spent the less time going and praying. Cain spent the most time away from his parents. He didn't want to go to his parents. So when the enemy presented himself to Cain, Cain didn't run to his parents and tell them, listen, I've been having these thoughts. These are the things that are coming. This is the one that's been speaking to me. Apparently, this enemy, the same one that got you all kicked out of the garden, the same one that's been trying to kill you all forever, is the same one that keep coming to me. Why did he run to his parents? Because he was not conducive to that type of relationship. So what happened was it fostered the relationship between him and his brother. It fostered an unhealthy environment that he started to hate his brother because his brother wanted to do things right was the only reason why he hated him. So now the enemy plants in Cain's head. You have to kill him in order for you to be the most important one. The enemy has been planting in people who you are connected to, planting in their head. If they kill you, then they'll become more important. If they get you out of the way, they'll be more important to what God has, to God and to the call. If they get you out of the way, if they tear down your character, they tear down your name, they tear down your status, they tear down who you are and who you have been building up, then they have been able to now be lifted up. And somebody will look at them the way that they look at you. They don't recognize it's anointing. It is not something that you have done of your own power. It's the anointing of God on your life. They knew exactly what they were doing. They just were being used, though. They were being used by the enemy. So we can't just forgive those who didn't know. We have to forgive the people who knew exactly what they were doing. They knew when they touched you, they were out of order. They knew when they touched you, they were doing what was wrong, but they were being used. They knew when they approached you that way and said those things to you, they knew that it was going to tear you down, but they were being used. Realize Abel was the original goal, not Cain. So what am I saying? The enemy's goal is you, not the one that they're using. Mm-hmm. Who was the goal when it came down to Jesus? Jesus was the original goal. It wasn't Judas. The enemy knew he could play Judas like a puppet. All he had to have was a desire for something that wasn't his, which was money. So what did Judas do? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set him up so that I can get all the money that I want. It's never the person that's being used that is the goal. It is always the one that is yielded to God that the enemy wants. He wants your ear. He wants your voice. You have a light all over your life. You are the one that he's after. But you got to realize that if you're the goal, you have to stay more submitted. If you're the goal, you have to use more discretion. If you're the goal, you have to stop being so trusting to everybody, but learn to forgive and grow instead of forgive and never forget and never. No, forgive and grow. Grow from it. Forgive and have faith that this had something to do with my building. I'm now a better person because I went through this. I now can help somebody else who may be going through this. Have you ever been molested? I don't know who. But you've been molested and now you're looking at other people and you can tell when you can look at kids and actually tell when it's happening to them. Mm-hmm. You can tell even when they're being manipulated and when they started swaying towards certain things. Have you ever been backstabbed? Have you ever been talked about? Have you ever been hurt? And now you can look at other people. That's not the direction that I need to go in. But for you who has been abused sexually, mentally, physically, you are able to look at somebody else and tell that that's happening to them. Mm-hmm. It's not for no reason at all. It's because you've been through what you've been through. But now you have to learn to forgive the person who did it. They knew what they were doing. They did it intentionally, but they were being used. Forgive the person and charge the spirit. Charge the spirit that was using them, that spirit of perversion, the spirit of manipulation, that same spirit, because you're wrestling not against flesh and blood. Yep. This is an enemy that you're up against. And as invisible as the enemy may seem, let me tell you something. He tries to manifest himself through people. So he's using people all the time. You were the goal the whole time. He wanted to tear you down. And they thought that they were really, really doing something. Somebody made a comment. They said that the person let the devil use them. So I let them use, the person said, I let them use me. No, that's not how we operate. If the enemy is using somebody, now it's time for you to yield to your surrender, to your sergeant. You got to surrender to your commander in chief. You got to surrender to the one that you know is leading you and guiding you. Because if the enemy can lead you once, I guarantee you he's going to try and do it again. The goal is to get you one time out of character, to get you one time out of the presence of God. Because the truth is, as you stay in his presence, when the enemy comes, he is only staying at a certain distance. Though you can hear him, he cannot touch you because you're protected by the aura of God. You're protected by the presence of God. He cannot take you out when you stay in his presence. You want to know how Cain got Abel? Abel trusted his brother enough to go on a walk with him. And that's when Cain got him. It is the times where you know it is the most unorthodox thing. You know somebody got something against you. And you say, oh, well, forgiveness says that I can be able to. Forgiveness is not stupidity. Forgiveness is not ignorance. You forgive and you adjust the relationship accordingly.
Lord.
Hello, somebody. Because somebody is out there, for real. Somebody out there saying, I forgive them and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let it go. So now they have access. Forgiveness don't give you access to me.
A lot of times we talk, you said you forgave them, but you still holding on. You can't even talk to them. You can't even this, you can't even that.
Listen, I don't need to talk to them. But when I see them, I'm not going to cringe. When I see him, my life is still going to be the same because I truly have forgiven. Now, if you see him and you cringing and you, I can't be around him, I'm ready to, then you need to check to see if you forgave. Okay. You probably haven't forgiven. But if you can be around him and you say, you know what? Bygones is bygones. I really do pray the best for you. I hope you get the healing you need. Yeah. But no, you don't have access to me. Why the heck would I give a thief my keys to my dang on house? And I say, I'm giving you these keys because I forgive you. Kind of stupidity that, because, you know, they do this stupid stuff and they turn around and they say stuff like, oh, well, that's being a Christian. That's being a believer. No, let me tell you about being a believer, okay? A believer, because I just got mad for real. Because a believer is wise enough to know that even when God forgives you, even when you repent, you still have to rebuild the relationship and connection. You don't have the same access that you once had. Well, all my sins are wiped away and all the things that I've done is now gone. Now rebuild. Because that means that you're starting fresh. Yeah. So if it's that important, rebuild the relationship. But that don't give you access because you ask for forgiveness. No, the change gives you access. Well, hold on. Love keeps no record of wrong. You show right. So why are you keeping a record of wrong? Why do you keep on doing the same thing over and over again and then asking for forgiveness? You the one kept the record, not me. My love stands real. I'm going to forgive you. I'm going to forgive you and I'm going to move past it. But I'm wise enough to know that you don't deserve access because you keep abusing it. Or you have abused it at one point. So now you show me what you're deserving of, and that's what you will get. And it's the same way with God. I'm sorry. We get so punkish when we start walking in God. We believe that, oh, well, you know what? Everybody gets to do this over me. Everybody gets to, no. I might not punch you in your throat as fast, but I will allow you to ask for forgiveness, and I will forgive you because I don't want you to be charged with that charge. But let me tell you something. You knew what you were doing, which means that you have the possibility that you can do it again. So before I'm unwise and I allow you to do it again, I'm going to create boundaries. I'm going to create respectful boundaries that says that you can't have these areas of me anymore. Why? Because you have violated these areas. Why would I dare allow you? If a rapist has raped somebody, why would they turn around and say, well, I'm going to give you a key to my house and I'm going to tell you the code to my underwear drawer, and also I'm going to make sure that you know what times I get undressed. So that way, I want you to know how much I trust you. You don't have to worry about it. Why would you do that? That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You have to learn to allow people to show you who they want to be in your life. Forgiveness gives you that opportunity. I forgive you. I'm moving forward. I'm moving past that. So I don't hold the charge to you anymore. I can actually even walk in your midst and be okay. But now I am going to make sure that you show me who you are. I'm not going to let you have no access just because you say you want it and you ask for forgiveness. So you show me what you deserve. And I'll be there, because we can tell you all day long, well, that ain't how God works. But the truth is, you still trying to get into heaven, ain't you? How you working that out? You're going to live right. Because if you live right, heaven belongs to you. If you talk right, heaven belongs to you. If you walk right, heaven belongs to you. Look, if you're doing things righteously, you know you can live. You know heaven is your portion. But if you know you're doing wicked things, get out of here. You know heaven ain't your portion. You know that ain't what God got in store for you, because you ain't walking in God. But he gives us standards by which we get to become one with him and engage with him. If his forgiveness has standards, why shouldn't ours?
That's a word.
Because the truth is, you made a choice. You knew what you were doing. And we go to God all the time. Oh, you didn't know. I didn't know. No, you didn't know what was going to happen. You didn't know the outcome, but you knew what you were doing. So now, forgive them. They knew exactly what they were doing, but they were being used. Now, you have to realize that it's time for you to move forward. You cannot allow, it's time for you to know your enemy. You have to know exactly who it is that you're up against. You have to know exactly who it is that you're fighting. There's always somebody working behind the schemes. See, play on words. If the scheme seems.
That's cute.
No, for real. You know. Okay, so you have to realize who's working behind the scheme. While all of this grand scheme of things is going on, realize that it's working against you, but the enemy is behind it. So forgive the person, because you need to be forgiven too for some things. So forgive the person, grow past it, but set the boundaries and allow the respectful boundaries to be there, and let them show you who they want to be in your life. They don't deserve immediate access. That's for that person who say they're gonna forget a baby daddy because they feel like he should be back at their house tomorrow.
We ain't stirring it up like that.
Oh, I ain't gonna do that, because we headed up out of here. We over our time. But get yourself together. That's for that person who say, "Oh, you know what? I'm gonna forget my baby mama. Yeah, the baby wasn't mine, but it's okay. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna act like a father to that baby." And then you realize that 10 years down the line, you signed a birth certificate knowing that this child wasn't yours, and now you still got to pay child support because she turned around and did the same thing to you the next 3 kids that she had. Okay, boundaries, recognize. Okay,
if his forgiveness has standards,
your forgiveness needs to have standards.
Yours need to.
Everybody don't deserve immediate access. So close the doors, close the lids, close whatever you got to close. But realize that they don't deserve everything. They don't deserve everything. They don't deserve everything. Legs. Mufasa. Get it together, all right? For your forgiveness has to have standards. Yes. Forgive them, people. They knew exactly what they were doing, but they were being used. Recognize the enemy, shut it down. We love y'all so much. Thank you so much for coming on out. Yes, and I am Brother Greg, Minister Greg, Pastor Greg, and I'm here to preach to you today. We love y'all. Y'all have a good day.
Truth or it's family,
Married to jealousy.
truth or it's fantasy, yeah.
We're doing everything.
Cause there's so much to talk about. Sit still and brew it out. Bitter and sweet, ice and heat. Let's take a drink of honesty.